Hello everybody, this is Mr. 572 here, and welcome to this really random and rambling vlog series called the Rambling Flight Attendant. So if you have watched my channel description, I've said that I will sometimes ramble about my previous job as a flight attendant, and these series basically just pure random ramblings about what I've learned or what interesting things that happened during my past 3 years as a flight attendant in Hong Kong. So for the first episode here, I'd like to share with you some tips and tricks that I learned as a flight attendant that to help me to deal with winter, dryness, and coldness. So as now I'm here in Tokyo, and winter time here can get really kind of cold compared to Hong Kong, and because there's always heater everywhere, so things get pretty dry here. But I'm really glad that I've learned some tips and tricks when I was working as a flight attendant, so that I can deal with this coldness and dryness pretty well, I would say. And today I'd like to share with you about these little tips and tricks. So I hope you will enjoy it. As you know, we flight attendants really travel a lot. And one day maybe we're here in Hong Kong where winter is kind of still warm, you can still deal with it. The next day maybe you're in Bangkok already, so there's basically no winter. And then 3 days later you may be having a layover in Beijing where there are like huge snow or something like that. So we have to learn how to deal with all these weather situations and learn how to adapt them really well. And that's why usually our seniors will pass on their experience and also their tricks to us juniors, and we hope that we can pass it on forward, so that all these things become some little things that we always share when we're working, when we have some free times, and they are pretty useful and sometimes surprisingly quite easy to do. And okay, enough rambling, let's get to the tips and tricks, shall we? So first of all, I'd like to share with you how to deal with the dryness in winter, especially the dryness that brought by the heaters in whether your home, your hotel, or whatsoever. Actually, flight attendants are pretty used to dry weather, because I don't know the exact source or whatever, but I've heard that the humidity in the airplane is actually only 2%, so which is like a desert or something. I'm not sure how true it is, but it is pretty dry in the plane. So basically, a lot of flight attendants, we got problems with dry hands and stuff, because we have to clean the lavatory and also deal with like waters and stuff and drinks like that. So our hands are always dry because we're working in the airplane, and also we're staying in hotel with heaters. So we have a very interesting but extremely easy to do trick to do with hand dryness, which is to create your own hand mask by a very simple thing, which is disposable gloves. So you can find them really easily on the aircraft, because we would use them to, for example, to collect trash, clean the lavatory or whatsoever. But it's also extremely cheap. You can just buy it in any place, any supermarket in the world or whatever. This one I bought it in the 100-yen shop here in Japan. And what we're going to do is really easy with this disposable gloves. First of all, you put on a really thick amount of hand cream, really massage it, really do it really well on your hand, and then just wear these gloves for at least 10 minutes. And because these gloves are so thin, you can still play with your iPhone, do a lot of other things when you're still on these gloves. And in flight, sometimes if we have time, given that if we have time, most of the time we don't have this time, we don't have this luxury. So we will put on hand creams, put on the gloves, and then go on the aisle and do the trash or whatever. So yeah, just let the hand cream sit there for at least 10 minutes. Best will be 20 minutes or something, you know, it really depends. And then just remove the gloves, you know, massage it again. You can feel the difference because the disposable gloves really helped to heat up and also help your skin to absorb all the hand creams and, you know, all the goodies, and therefore it's really good for your hand. And afterwards you can put on a thin layer of hand cream again, or you can put on another thing called Vaseline. Vaseline is extremely good, especially if your finger, you know, tips and here and there are cracked already. They're extremely good miracle healers. I don't know why, but they just help. So gloves is one of the very good things that we always use to deal with hand dryness. So the second trick that I'd like to share with you is how to deal with dryness inside your house created by the heater. So a lot of people always complain that, oh, it's so dry because the heater is on, blah blah blah, and some people will buy a really extremely expensive and good humidifier, which is good. But if you're a flight attendant, you're traveling with a little suitcase only, and you can bring your fancy humidifier all the way with you around the world, right? Actually, some of my colleagues do have some portable humidifiers where you can buy them on eBay and stuff like that, but still, it occupies your space in your luggage, and for a person who bring a lot of other random things already, I don't really have the space for those portable humidifiers. So what to do? If you're in a hotel, of course, the best thing to do is to really fill your bathtub with hot water so that, you know, it can create a large water body near you and help to increase the humidity in the room. But if you are in your house, like, it's a big waste of water and your water bill will become really expensive. So what to do? Actually, we have another little tips that we always use, which is a wet towel. You can use a bigger towel than this, is just for demonstration. So just basically wet your towel. Of course, it can't be too wet, can't be like dripping wet, but still kind of wet. And then put it someplace near you, like, you know, the nightstand, or, you know, somewhere which is close to your face and stuff like that. So this can act as a little water body that can still increase a little bit of the humidity around you. Of course, the best will be humidifier, but that is like a temporary humidifier that you can use, and they're really easy to access to. So if you don't have a humidifier with you, or if you're too poor to buy a humidifier like me right now, so this is still a little thing that can help a little, not like a big help, but still it's better than nothing. So remember this little wet towel, they can help you. So the third thing to deal with dryness is actually, I think for most of Chinese people, they may know that already. I'm not sure about the other parts of the world, but because it's so dry, like your throat, your whole body just feels so dry. So you think you need something to nourish yourself from the inside out. So in this time, one thing do come in handy, which is honey. So in winter time, we will always make honey water, no matter we're in flight or in the hotel. And to make honey water is really easy. Just buy some honey. Of course, you can buy really expensive and good honey in those like special shops or organic shop. But you can still buy like a random honey. You know, just make sure they're 100% honey, not those honey you use for other purpose. But you know, 100% honey. And then you just buy them and then mix the honey with. Remember, it's room temperature water, not hot water, not icy cold water. It's just room temperature water. And then just stir it really well and then just drink it. Remember, don't use hot water because it will damage the nutrients or whatsoever of the honey. And icy cold water, basically the honey and the water takes, you know, a really long time to mix. So according to Chinese medicine or whatsoever, you know, and also honey water can help you to nourish your body inside. And of course, honey got a lot of, like, you know, nutrients, vitamins, blah blah blah. I'm not here to talk, you know, to give you a silent lecture. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. But actually, it's quite a good trick you can use during your winter time, and also it tastes really good. So why not just spice up your water by just a little bit of honey? And remember, during winter time it's already so dry, so try to avoid anything with caffeine, like coffee, tea, or coke that will, you know, makes you to go to the washroom more, so that more water may come out. So try to avoid drinks with caffeine. It's also a really important trick that you should remember during winter time. So enough with the dryness, let's talk about coldness. So of course winter can get really cold, if not why we call it winter, right? And as a flight attendant, when we're on duty, we're required to wear specific clothing, which is the uniform only. And of course, like, you know, uniform will have some like big, you know, thick coat and something like that for you to do with cold weather, but still sometimes you want a little bit extra more. But what to do? We're only allowed to have, you know, the uniform. We can't wear, like, you know, a thick, you know, down jacket or something on top of it. We can't do that. So what to do? Usually most of the company will either provide or have designated winter accessories that you can use, which is very useful when it comes to deal with cold weather, which is scarf. Oh no, this is not scarf, which is gloves, and also scarf. So it really depends on the company, but I would say, you know, some company they have their company scarf, some company they would just, you know, like my previous company, they would just say, hey, any black scarf is fine, you know, something like that. So don't, you know, underestimate the powerfulness of just a scarf or a pair of gloves. First of all, they save a lot of space, so you don't really need to bring an extra thick jacket when you're going to outport or something like that. And secondly, you know, just by just a piece of scarf or just a pair of gloves, it can help you to make you so warm than maybe even a big jacket. Why? Because these things can reduce the amount of skin that you're exposed to the cold weather, so that more heat can be still trapped around you and not really like radiated outside to the cold weather. So in winter time, if you don't want to dress like a big Michelin kind of, like, you know, the tie, Michelin tie figure, you know what I mean, like a really puffy person, wear a scarf and also a pair of gloves can really help you with that, so that you can still have a very stylish outlook, really thin silhouette, but still can make you warm. The last trick that I would like to share with you to do with winter coldness is actually related to this baby here, the hair dryer. So what to do with a hair dryer? Hair dryer is supposed to just dry your hair, you know, make your hair looks good, right? Yeah, which is true, but I bet everybody into winter time may experience that when you wake up and you are changing and stuff like that, when you take off your really warm pajamas and change to your clothes that you need to wear them to get out of the house, you'll be like, oh gosh, it's so cold. Like, you know, this new piece of fabric is so cold, right? Or if you just step out from your, like, you know, winter shower and then you want to, you know, get dressed, and you will be like, oh, cold, right? So in this time, hair drying comes in handy. There is a trick that we use with hair dryer to deal with winter coldness, which is to blow dry the inside of your clothes and also pants, whatever thing, just a few seconds before you wear it. Or you can wear it and then blow dry it inside. The hair dryer usually will produce really hot air, right? So by blowing hot air inside your clothes and then wear it, or, you know, wearing it and then blow hot air in, it can help to trap all those warm air inside your clothes, and it can make you feel warm like instantly. it didn't really use that much of like electricity because you just need a few seconds. You don't need to blow it really like a good 2 minutes or something. It's not your hair, it's just, you know, a way to make your clothes warm. Some people do, if they really, you know, really have a problem with winter coldness, some of them may even blow dry their bed before they get in. That use a little bit more energy because, like, you know, the bed is kind of like a big area, but still that is an extremely effective way to deal with that, so that you don't, you know, get into your, you know, bed and then you have to feel cold for like at least 30 minutes and then you're just like, oh, I can't sleep, it's so cold, you know, and wasting your time, you know. So actually, hair dryer is also a good friend during winter time to deal with winter coldness. So I hope you will enjoy this little tips and tricks that I shared with you on how to deal with winter coldness and dryness. All these tricks we use as a flight attendant because it's really simple and easy, it's really accessible. We can find them in the hotel or in the home, so that we don't need to bring a lot of things when we're traveling. And I hope these little tricks can help you to deal with this really cold and dry winter in the following months if you're living in the northern hemisphere. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please make sure to give it a giant thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Your support is really important to me. Anyway, thank you for flying with us. God bless and goodbye.